Alright, let's dive into something that might seem mundane at first glance but actually reveals a lot about how we live and eat. Did you know that Wales has just recorded the UK's biggest improvement in food hygiene ratings? Yeah, it's not the flashiest headline, but personally, I think it's a big deal. It's not just about numbers. It's about the health and safety of millions of people. What makes this really interesting is that it's part of a larger trend across the UK, where food hygiene standards are gradually improving. But Wales, they've taken a massive leap forward, and that's worth unpacking. So, here's the deal. According to a report by High Speed Training, which analyzed data from nearly 240,000 food businesses across the UK, the average food hygiene rating has risen to 4.57. That might not sound like much, but when you consider that 88% of businesses scored a 4 or 5, and 72% got top marks, it's clear that standards are climbing. But here's the kicker. Wales went from an average rating of 4.47 in 2025 to 4.51 in 2026. That might seem like a small jump, but in the world of food hygiene, it's significant. What this really suggests is that something systemic is changing in Wales: better training, stricter enforcement, or maybe just a cultural shift toward prioritizing hygiene. Now, let's talk about why this matters. Food hygiene isn't just about avoiding a dodgy takeaway. It's about public health. One thing that immediately stands out is that 1 in 5 takeaways scored a 3 or below. That's alarming, right? But here's where it gets even more interesting. In Wales, it's compulsory for businesses to display their hygiene ratings. In England, it's just best practice. From my perspective, this mandatory transparency could be a game changer. It puts pressure on businesses to maintain high standards because, let's face it, no one wants to eat at a place with a low rating. This raises a deeper question. Should the rest of the UK follow Wales' lead and make displaying ratings compulsory? I think it's worth considering. Another detail I find fascinating is the regional variation within Wales. Wrexham topped the charts with an average rating of 4.94, while Blaenau Gwent came in at 3.96. That's a huge gap. What many people don't realize is that these disparities often reflect broader socio-economic factors. Wealthier areas tend to have better resources and infrastructure, which can translate into higher hygiene standards. But Rhondda Cynon TAF saw the biggest improvement, jumping by 0.11. That's a story of progress, and it makes me wonder what specific initiatives or policies drove that change. If you take a step back and think about it, these regional differences highlight the importance of localized efforts in improving public health. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Dr. Richard Anderson from High Speed Training pointed out that high hygiene ratings are a selling point for businesses. Personally, I think this is where the real impact lies. In a competitive market, a top hygiene rating can set a business apart. But what's equally important is the flip side. Low ratings can be a death sentence for a restaurant. In an age where online reviews and ratings are everything, a single bad hygiene score can go viral and tank a business. This isn't just about health. It's about reputation and profitability. What this really suggests is that food hygiene is as much a business issue as it is a health issue. So, where does this leave us? In my opinion, Wales' improvement is a wake-up call for the rest of the UK. It shows that with the right policies and cultural shifts, significant progress is possible. But it also raises questions about accountability and transparency. Should we be doing more to ensure that all food businesses meet high standards? And as consumers, should we be more vigilant about checking hygiene ratings before we dine out? I think the answer is yes. What makes this topic so compelling is that it's not just about numbers or regulations. It's about how we value our health and the businesses we support. As I wrap this up, I'm left with one big question. What would it take for the entire UK to reach the kind of standards Wales is now achieving? Is it just a matter of time, or do we need systemic changes? Let me know what you think in the comments. And next time you're grabbing a bite, maybe take a second to check that hygiene rating. It might just save you from a bad experience. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more insights like this.